What it do, Big Blue? How y'all doing tonight? And no, you're not impaired because I thought I was. You are seeing two cows, and you might see a familiar face from the comment section. But we have our friends from Big Blue or BBN Unfiltered. I was gonna say Big Blue Nation Unfiltered, but BBN Unfiltered.
Yes, sir.
Welcome,
Yes.
guys.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome, 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 guys.
Thank
Glad
you
to
Appreciate
all
you guys
here.
hopping on.
Absolutely. Thank you all for having us. This has been a long time coming, right?
Yes.
We've discussed it in the background. We know we have the same style. We know we have mostly all the same opinions. The back and forth between the four of us could be epic. So let's get it going, guys.
Yeah,
I think it will be. I think it will
yeah,
be.
the,
I think
the
it
big
will be.
thing I love is that we all have the same passion for the same thing. And we're not here to just degrade people. We're here to find solutions for
Yep.
something we love and know a little bit about. And I just love talking to people that feel the same way I do.
Yep. Couldn't have said
Love
it better, man. Couldn't have said it better. I guess let's jump right into it, and
Yep.
let's get. I know you guys did a post game of it, but let's recap the disaster of the A&M game. I had high expectations going into that game, and it started off good. It started off really good.
I
And
agree.
then, and then, and Kyle, I need your take on this as a former coach. What the hell was he thinking? Just pulling everybody out, and then you had a chance to call a timeout. Like you could have stopped some of that run multiple times.
Yes.
And you just
yourself.
let it keep going. You just let it
Yep.
keep going. I don't understand
Right.
it.
Like
So-
he forgot. Like he forgot he had time out.
Yeah, Austin and I talked about this just the other day. I told him if I'm up 12 points, if I'm up 30 to 18, and I sub out one, I'm not subbing out my best players at the same time, my top dogs. I'm just not doing it. Now, you got to keep one in, but he takes them all out. He lets them go on that run without calling a timeout, where he should have called a timeout the minute they went a 6-0 run. Like,
Yep.
no, we're not. Boys, we're not doing this shit tonight. Sit down. You come in with that effort, you're setting your asses down. Let me know when you want to play. And then you go back to your dogs. But
Yeah, absolutely.
and here's what I say to Austin. I never forgot I had timeouts because I had somebody sitting next to me that was an amazing assistant that would say, "You've got two." Yeah, as Austin's dad. He'd say, "You got two, you might want to use one." I'd be like, "Good, yep." And he's paying these guys hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit there on their hands.
It's almost like something happened that he was like, what I was thinking is he was trying to prove a point to them starters or something. It was like, were they late to practice? Did something happen that he was trying to prove a point?
No,
I'm saying, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think there wasn't anything specifically that happened that made Pope say, "Hey, okay, I got to yank these guys." He went back to his analytical.
Yep.
I got to keep them within a certain frame of minutes. We've made our run. We're up 12, so we can kind of sit back and cruise for a few minutes. But that's all it takes is 2 or 3, 4 minutes to completely flip flop the game. Because if you're going to bring in a group of dudes who aren't going to be disciplined, who aren't going to execute, especially in that environment, when we know it's going to be high pressure, when you know that your primary ball handler isn't even a true point guard as is. So when you take him out, you're really sacrificing your entire game plan in itself. And it's just like Coach said, like, why did it take so long for him to call a timeout? I don't get it.
I don't either.
Why didn't Mark Fox on the sideline say, "Hey, Coach, call it. You gotta stop it."
I was going to say the same thing, right? So when Cal was the coach, his assistants would get off the bench and they were on the sideline, like walking around and would be in his ear. I don't see any of Pope's assistants doing anything. Maybe during a timeout, like a TV timeout when they all huddle up, but I don't see him doing anything, right? You let them go on that run. And look, I understand it. If you're at home and you're like, all right, let's cruise because we're up 12. Let's give our guys a little bit of a break. But you can't do that on the road.
No,
in that pivotal of a matchup.
You can never cruise.
And that gave,
especially in the SEC.
And that gave Texas A&M all their confidence. They weren't playing with confidence. They hadn't been shooting well coming into that game. And
No.
all of a sudden, he makes this sub. They hit a couple threes, and then bam, it
was it.
exploded. They got confidence. We went weak, as I always say. We went weak, and once we went weak, we couldn't get it back. I mean, my God, I don't know what he says to these guys sometime, but how can they continue to have lulls where they look like they're not giving any effort at all, or just don't care? Is it at some points, you know? And go ahead, Cody.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. And I'm tired of the 3 and 4 minute scoring lulls. Do something, make a change, put people in a better position, do something.
Anything.
You can't sit there on your hands as a coach.
Get a tech.
No.
Yeah, no,
crazy.
thank you.
Get a tech and stop the momentum. Act like an idiot on the. I don't know. Throw a chair across the floor.
Right.
Like freaking Bobby. Do something to stop the momentum.
When BG,
well, and I don't think that's going to happen with him. I don't think that's going to happen with Pope. He doesn't have that emotional intelligence in him. He doesn't have that he doesn't have the capability to scream like that and get fired up. We've seen it a couple times where it looks like he's fired up, but it's like timid. Like it's timid fired up. You know what I mean?
Forced.
Like he's going to get in trouble.
It's just like his technical he got earlier in the season. If you don't think that wasn't planned,
it was.
That was so planned. Yeah. People had been talking about it, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he turned around, tee him up, and wasn't in a bad situation. Are you kidding me? That was so planned. Right now, it's like I've said to Austin, my biggest problem with Pope is he sold us this road to Oz with bringing in the team on the bus, the 96 team in on the bus, and grabbing at our heartstrings and getting up there and saying, I know the assignment. And then this year, he's got to tug at our heartstrings again. What's he do? He brings in the 96 team in denim. Yep. Everybody loves it. You know what I mean? But he's not performing as a coach. So he knows to tug at heartstrings because that gets those people out there like, oh, but he's such a good guy. You've only given him a year and a half. I don't care if he's Moses. He should not be coaching at the University of Kentucky.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. 100%. 100%. We talked about it before. And Cody, I'll let you jump on this. But like, he came from BYU without a resume.
Yes.
And the only resume that he had was being a 96 team captain and winning a national championship. So that was it.
One of our biggest shows was not one of our biggest, but I brought up and I'd said to everybody on Facebook, hit us up and let me know if you think Mark Pope would be the coach or should be the coach if he wasn't on the 96 national championship team. Would he have been hired? Hell no.
No.
With what resume? No tournament wins?
Yeah.
No.
It'd be a laughing stock. And I don't understand. I still don't understand it, except unless he pulled it, Mitch the bitch's heartstrings in the interview. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
You know he did. I've seen so many comments on almost everything that we post because most of it is Mark Pope centered. And one of the most common ones is he was the feel good hire. He was the nostalgic hire that says the right things, and he says the right things, but you have to combo that with doing the right things and having results at the same time. So like, you can say all the right things all day, but that doesn't mean anything if you can't win games, man.
Well, and here's the thing, right? So you say the right things to the fan base, which is great, right? You can say all you want to the fan base, but you can't then say that same thing to the players because it doesn't relate to them. And that's the problem that we're in, right? So like, you have to say the right thing to the fans to get them excited. I get that. We're all on board with that. But do something else in that locker room to get these players fired up because what you're doing isn't working. It's not working.
It isn't working. I mean, it really isn't.
I had a conversation with Michael Moreno today, actually. More or less, he pretty much told me, and this is Malachi's older brother, right? Who, he has an interest within the team that, he has to be careful with what he says. So, but he pretty much said to me, like, I didn't see the urgency. I didn't see the hard closeouts, the effort, like we always say, almost every show, like it's just not there at a consistent rate. And my response to him was, I said, dude, ain't it March? Is it not March? That shouldn't even be a conversation right now.
No.
Shouldn't even be in the realm of anything in any possibility in this point in time. And he agreed with me, right? I mean, it's just like, okay, so he can see it too. It's not just us. It's obvious.
I would have never thought that what we are experiencing and where we are right now, after all the talk and blah, blah, blah at the beginning, I would have never thought we would be in this position with this team. Like, we have the power. We have everything we would need for a great championship team if you just put the grit and just the dedication and the heart and honestly the love of the game. It doesn't even look like they love the game. They are just there to get a paycheck. That's it.
There are times where I think they let down really, really hard, and then Pope can't get them back up. And I think we see that more times than not, where you see a guy drop his head, or a couple of them. Ortega's great at it. So's Chandler. They'll drop their damn heads. And Pope's not good at getting them to raise their head up and get going again.
No,
he kind of just lets them go get in the huddle or whatever if it's a timeout, and you can see them walking with their head down. And he comes out and he stands there and does his looking up at the ceiling, and then comes and gets in the huddle, and he hasn't said a word to him. He hadn't put his arm around Chandler and say, "Hey, man, dude, I see you're working hard. Just let's get it next time. Come on." You don't.
He's the same way. That's why.
Yeah,
he needs somebody to do that to him. That's why. Because and his assistant coaches fall in line. They don't do anything. So it's a joke. And you brought up Owe. Man, he may be the most frustrating star athlete that we've had on the Kentucky team in a very long time, because he can take over a game offensively, but then defensively, he single-handedly helped some of that run happen because he didn't close out on those threes.
He would not close out on a shooter.
And I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I don't either, because it would happen one time with me and then he'd been sitting down. Like, that's I don't understand here. The biggest fear for a player is what? Not
Ass
playing.
on bench.
Yeah, not playing. Ass on the bench. Do you ever see him take somebody out, and when he should take somebody out?
No.
And as they're walking by him, get into their grill.
One time.
Walk them to their seat on the bench.
Walk them to their seat.
Correct.
BG that one time.
Yeah.
BG.
Yeah. That was the only time I've seen it since he's been a coach.
He needs to do it more often with BG.
Thank you. He needs to do it more often with all of them.
Well, yeah. But I mean, when I knew we were screwed, I swear to God, I knew we were screwed.
I know what you're going to say. I know it. BG shot a 3.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
100%.
I saw his head get bigger and bigger on the TV screen when he hit those couple dunks. And I was like, oh, shit. And he hit. We're done. We're done.
Soon as he caught it,
you know what
my
my
saw his
motto
arm
is?
go up, I was like, oh, shit.
Here's my motto. If you catch the ball top of the key, you're wide open, no one is within 15 feet of you, there's a pretty damn good reason for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because they want you. They want you to shoot that shot, you guys.
Right.
What do you think that scout said? Don't go out on BG if he's at a 3-point line.
Let him shoot.
He's going to let her fly, baby.
You're right.
Yeah, we're okay if he makes that shot. You know, like, we're okay. Let him try. Let him try.
He's not going on a run.
Well, look, if he makes one, he's going to bank it in, and then he'll try another
and then
2
he'll try
or 3.
another one.
Yeah, and then he'll try another one, and then it's over. You know what I mean?
And look, the killer for us offensively, Chandler had a horrible game. I think he came in with 3 points.
But here's the thing. And Austin and I talk about this as shooters and somebody that coach shooters. There's nothing run to get your best shooter open. There's no sets. There's no screens. We're not doing anything. And Austin's biggest thing in our podcast lately has been, you got to get Chandler more shots. And he had said that. And then we have the Vanderbilt game. Chandler gets a bunch of shots. What happens the next game? 3 shots?
Non-existent. Yeah.
I mean, nothing was run to get him to be existent.
Nothing. Did you all? I talked about this last night. Did you all even realize that he only took one shot in the second half?
Yes.
Yep.
One.
Yep.
No, I did not notice.
And it was within the
One
last
shot.
90 seconds of the game when it was
I was gonna
desperation
say.
time. He played an
Right.
entire half without even making an attempt.
Yeah.
What?
I had to look at the box score to see how many minutes he played because I didn't believe it.
I didn't
I was like,
either.
there's
It was
no
like
way.
Austin
he
told
played
me.
like 34 minutes.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
played the
when
most
Austin
minutes on
told me
anybody.
that, I was
Yep.
like, are you sure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure when I saw it because I looked it up. I was like, that really?
And
You
it
know
was
what
at
that
the
is?
end of the
You got-
game.
You know what? That is a perfect example of Buckyball, whatever his
Yes.
name is, said, you will not leave Colin Chandler wide open. I don't care what you do. You are going to stick on his ass no matter what happens. He will
Yep.
not beat us because they are reliant on him to shoot from the perimeter. And what they do, completely locked him down. What do we
Yeah.
do? Panic.
Yeah. Yep.
But let
Because
me
we don't
ask you
have
this.
we don't have a second option. Yeah, we don't have a second option. Look, and Kyle, I know you coached, Austin, you played, I played, Cody played a little bit, right? So my coaches always told me when I was guarding somebody, I don't care if his ass runs to the bathroom, you're running in there after him.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're following him
absolutely.
everywhere. You're not letting him
Stay
get
on
open.
your
And that's
man.
exactly what they did to Chandler. And look, I think it's high time we realize that our team, we don't cover the screens well, like the pick and rolls, we get ate up on those, and we can't do screens well. Like we can't do that. Like I
No.
don't understand why we can't, but we can't do it. So those set plays that we're talking about for like, hey, run a screen to get Chandler open, we don't know how to do it.
No.
It's
Here's the thing.
frustrating.
Have you seen us run a double screen on a wing for him to come from the bottom up off a double screen? Nope.
No.
You ever seen him run an elevator screen for him? Nope. You don't see him run any type of screen that where he can get his feet set and get a shot off.
You know why? We don't have a guy this year. One of our big guys can't set screens like Weetabix could last year. And I call him Weetabix. I call him
Right.
Weetabix, but like
You know,
Weetabix.
I
love
don't
that.
I don't know if I mean anybody can set a screen and listen, like you just get them to freaking do it. Like you set them
That's
in
it, though.
practice and just say at minimum, like run floppy and just run Colin off of the baseline and have him run off of Colin and Mo and then, Malachi peel off of it. Anything. I mean,
Anything.
the handoff
yeah.
stuff it drives me insane.
dude,
I
I'm
hate
with you.
I hate it.
I cannot stand that they throw the ball into a big, and most of the time they keep their back to the basket. I was always taught, and I mean, my high school and college coaches, if you caught the ball and kept your back to the basket, you weren't playing long. I
Yeah.
mean, you what can I see back here? We're trying to do passes where we're doing this. I'm tired of that, man. Last year we had Amari who was great at it. We don't have that now. I mean,
It's like
we just
they-
don't.
it's like they forgot how to play elementary ball, honestly. Best way I can put it. Like they skipped elementary, middle. They just trying to play like playground basketball at this point.
And I just at this point too, like I don't know, I don't even know if it's a recordable stat, but OA probably leads the nation in missed layups and dribbling off his own foot. He dribbles off his own foot more than anybody I've ever seen in college
I don't
basketball.
understand.
It's at least once a game that he's doing it. At least once a game. And I don't understand.
Oh, that was oh shoot.
He looked
Wasn't that the
just
one
like-
Tennessee game? I think that was the
No.
one Tennessee game, wasn't it?
No,
It
we
wasn't
lost.
Tennessee because it was a game we lost. But it had
Okay.
been
He dribbled it right
one
off
of those
his
games
foot.
right after Tennessee, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Dribbled
I
it
think it
right
was.
off trying to go to the basket. And
Georgia. Was it Georgia?
Georgia.
It was.
Yeah, it was
It was
Georgia.
Georgia.
You're right.
And I text Austin right away and I said he looked like Ollie from Hoosiers trying to get to the basket and dribbling right off the side of his leg. That's all I could think of was like, damn, Ollie, like, God, gee, Ollie. But yeah, I mean, his layup misses in the Florida game alone probably led the nation after that and missed layups, man.
Yeah.
I think he missed
I mean,
four. I think he missed
but-
4 in that game.
It's so hard to knock Owe because
I mean, he is our dog.
Yeah.
think about if he didn't come back.
I know.
God.
And
God.
18 points a game that we'd be missing.
assuming that he would have been replaced with someone else, which likely would have been like half
Brandon
of his production.
Hawthorne. Brandon Hawthorne wouldn't have been redshirted.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Hey, you wanna talk about a shit show? Think about that.
What about next? I mean, as Kentucky fans, we always look at the next year like, oh, I can't wait.
Right.
I mean, we don't have nothing to look forward to on the recruit end. So it's
No,
more of
we
looking
don't.
at
You're
this
right.
team, and I look at it and I'm like, there's nobody I'm really excited for the decision to come back like I was last year when Owe decided to come back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's nobody I look at and go, oh my God, I hope he stays. I hope he comes back. Besides maybe Chandler, maybe.
Well, I'm a big man. I believe we need to have Malachi back. I mean,
Absolutely.
Malachi's going to be a first round draft pick in 2 years. I mean, that he's going to be a man child.
Is Pope able to develop him? That's another question.
We haven't seen him develop anybody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's going to have to do it all on his own. And I think that he will, because he's just, well, for one, he's Kentucky boy. So we figure it out one way or another. You know what I mean? But I don't know if Pope is able to develop somebody like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great question, because I don't know if anybody's developed.
The type of kid Malachi is, and the drive that I know he has. And listen, I can remember him being around when I was in high school and he was in the gym running. He always had a ball in his hand and he was competing. And I think I even coached him at Scott County's camps when I was in college, and he was a little feller. But just like I've seen him compete at a level to where I'm like, okay, he will improve himself no matter what. And you know that obviously Pope and the staff, they're going to make an effort to improve his physicality and post moves and jump shot too. I'm telling you. And I agree. I think number one priority is to retain Malachi for next year, without a doubt. But I think next year, his next step could be that elbow jump shot.
A 15-footer, I agree. Yep.
And his free throws. He needs to work on his free throws.
Yep.
He's inconsistent from the free throw line.
Right after that, get rid of BG.
I think it's real hard to sign BG back, man.
You can't. You cannot waste that money again.
I agree, but I'm telling you, Pope loves him. Like,
well, and that's
loves
what
him.
like moving to that next point, right? Cody, you brought this up about not really looking forward to a lot of things. We got one thing to look forward to, and that's we're going to have a new athletic director at some point.
Yes.
Right. So when that athletic director comes in, their first point of business should be to hire a general manager for the Kentucky basketball team.
Whether
I don't understand
or not.
Correct. Whether Pope wants it or not, we need one, because Pope can't recruit. It's clear as day he can't recruit.
Yeah.
What he's saying at those tables is not happening. It's not working. So we need an athletic director.
I agree.
That understands what's going on, and they need to bring in a general manager that can spend all year while Pope's coaching the current team. That general manager can be out there scouting the next round of people that are going to hit the transfer portal, the high school people, whatever. Build a staff, build whatever you got. You're goddamn Kentucky. You're Kentucky, right? So like you have money, you have anything. Build your staff and do what you need to do. You know what I mean?
I agree. We're exact, and that's what Austin and I talk about. We're Kentucky. We're the blue blood. We're not just a blue blood. We're the blue blood.
We're the standard.
And right now, we're not Kentucky.
No.
And Austin and I have talked about this too. What I'm getting most nervous about is becoming an Indiana or a UCLA.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really nervous about that, because we're on that same trend with IU. I mean, being on that same trend as IU was when they went boom, and they hired a guy who was an Indiana guy and wasn't a real good coach. And next thing you know, Indiana hasn't been good in 20 years. I mean, and that's where I'm afraid we're going. I mean, we're not that team that walks in an arena and everybody goes, oh, shit, it's Kentucky. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to play them.
Does the AD, if, when we hire a new one, do they even look at the general manager first, or do they look at the head coach and go, okay, I'm new here. There's no ties here. There's no nothing. Do they come in and fire Pope if he just shits the bed for the rest of the year?
I think he gets one more year.
One more year. And I think, Cody, one point you just brought up, which is great, is if we lose Saturday, lose the first round of the SEC, and lose the first round of the NCAA, and a new AD's coming in, I think Pope then might be in some trouble.
Kyle, what are you doing? Do not speak that into existence, man. What are you doing?
But that's, I mean,
Hey,
it's out.
Delete
I
it all.
mean,
Delete.
Listen, I'll say this much. If that does happen, BBN Unfiltered will have an absolute heyday, and it will be evident that our opinion is going to overcome and just dominate social media if it hasn't already within our industry. But if that does happen, I'm telling you, hell will freaking.
It's, oh my God.
If that scenario happens like that, all four of us are all on the same page. We will do whatever it takes. Look, you have my word. I will fly down to Kentucky and meet all you guys, and we will go and do whatever we need to do.
Hey,
I will pack his bags for him.
Yeah, we'll camp
have
out,
a remote right outside Joe Craft Center.
Yeah.
Right where the coaches enter their offices and just put a big ass speaker just pointed straight towards the front door.
And with the AD talk, I know who I already would like, and it has to do with Cousins' tweet, but I looked at it before Cousins' tweet, but I think Dwayne Peavy would be a great AD.
I agree. I need to look into it more, but everything I've read so far is absolutely on point with Peavy being a great AD.
Let's go back and think about when Peavy was the head of basketball operations under Cal.
Yep.
That's when we were rolling, you guys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There has to, again, be some sort of common denominator with him. I mean, Dwayne Peavy specifically, because once he left, and then I always say once John Robick left.
When Robick left Cal.
I think Peavy should be our number one option right now.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. And at the end of the day, look, I mean, I know the athletic director has to be the athletic director for all sports, but we know the bread and butter of Kentucky University of Kentucky is basketball, right? So I'm not taking anything away from the women's team. They're doing awesome this year. Women's volleyball team did awesome. We got some ballers out there in the rest of the teams, right? But like the pride and joy of the University of Kentucky has always been the basketball team, and that's where everything comes in.
And what brings in the money is the basketball team.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If that's shit, you're not going to get eyes on any of the other sports. So you got to fix the golden egg so everybody else looks at all the other eggs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If nobody's going to care. Like you said, we're going to be a UCLA or an Indiana. Honestly, if that was to happen, I think it would take even longer for us to dig ourselves out of a situation.
I agree.
Like, that would just be horrible. It wouldn't be a 2 or 3 year turnaround. That would be that. Oh my God. Oh God.
I think the only difference is the BBN, right? That's the only difference because
they won't
as long as the
accept
BBN if BBN stays loyal, then I don't think it'll happen that way because they won't accept it. They won't put up with it. But if they get pissed off and they're like, screw it, and then we will end up like UCLA or Indiana where we don't even have fans that care. And that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal.
Indiana's lost all their fans and they couldn't, I mean, for years. You could get tickets at Assembly like it was like if you want it was insane and then forever you couldn't get a ticket within a mile of Assembly. And I mean it got bad and it's still, I mean, it's not great still. It's not Indiana.
That's because they're all listening to Dan Dockage act like a jackass.
Yeah. Yeah. He's horrible, man. He's absolutely
terrible.
For me, he's just as bad as Colin Cowherd. It's just the ridiculous clickbait takes that like they just rage bait you and try to get you to like their stuff and comment. And I'm like, nah, not falling for it. I mean, not falling for it.
Yeah, Dan is just an idiot, and Colin Cowherd probably never played a sport in his life.
You could tell.
Made one of the dumbest comments I ever heard in my life. He goes, "Took a shot of testosterone this morning and my bench went up 15 pounds by the afternoon." What the hell did you just say?
What does that even mean? No one knows.
Because if that shit's true, sell it to me because I can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, real quick, speaking of like sports radio and hosts and guys that are just, killing it in what this is, right? Who's the best podcast show, sports show in the U.S. right now. Who? Pat McAfee.
Right.
Yep.
Does it with his
Hands
buddies
down.
and
Just chopping it up. And that's
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why, and I'm sure that's why you guys did it too, but like that's why Cody and I started this. Like Cody and I have been talking Kentucky basketball for 2 years now, like just off and on and like on other podcasts and like
Mhm.
text and everything. We're like, shit, if we're just doing this like anyway, we might as well record it. Like we might as well
Right.
just record it and talk about Kentucky sports anyway. So why don't we just
Right.
do that? And
Yeah.
that's why we started doing it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's why you guys started doing it, because we're all passionate about it.
Yes.
And we all want them to be successful. But damn it, man! Like put some
Yeah.
effort into it. It shouldn't be
and-
us putting in all the effort.
And there needs to be another voice. And listen, I love KSR. KSR is what got me into this. And whenever I first started listening, I was like, gosh, why? I don't miss an episode, right? Like no matter what happens, like I go back and listen to every podcast show. What's funny is now I miss almost all their shows because I'm too busy working on ours. But you know, like Kentucky needs a different voice, I think.
Yep.
And not that there's
Not the-
anything wrong with KSR. They do an excellent job. Yeah, I love it. But we do need another voice that will be a little bit more unfiltered, for the lack of a better term. And
Or
just
just
Like it.
I like it.
and not-
Shameless
not
plug.
be afraid to
Shameless
tell
plug.
the
I like it.
truth.
I like it.
I mean, and that's exactly right, Austin. I mean, they kind of like cleared the way. Now we're building the road. You know, here we go. Follow us.
think-
You know, and that's what we
Love it.
want to do. Is we want to have that same camaraderie and atmosphere, and we do it because we love the game and we love Kentucky and we love each other as coach players, and we enjoy talking about this to each other. Hell, we'd be on the couch texting one another all last year, like, you see that shit? Or, oh my
did.
God, I mean,
Yeah.
and then he said he was going to do it. And then he texted me and asked me if I wanted to. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do
And
this.
then I get nervous sometimes when, like I watch your guys' stuff, I'm sure it's vice versa. And I'm pretty sure me and Austin was commenting about this the other day. But when I see other people, like I support BBN. Absolutely do your thing, every fan. But some of them fans, some of you fans out there really just put a bad name on us. And it's just, oh my God. It doesn't make sense.
What do you
And I'm
mean?
glad- like us four, because if I had to listen to people that were opposite of us, like the whole prim and proper, God.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like,
I tried to watch KSR Sources Say with Jack Pilgrim. I'm sorry, I couldn't take it. I could not take it. It was cringeworthy to me. I took a picture of it and sent it to a buddy of mine, and who I know is a avid listener of KSR, and he responded and said, "I tried and fell asleep." He said, "Same thing. I just couldn't do it."
there's
I'm gonna phrase it like Mark Pope. There's a beautiful space that somebody could enter into within the Kentucky media
Got it.
podcast world. You heard it here first. And I am impersonating Mark Pope himself, because there is a beautiful space that somebody could enter into within the media world and give their opinions and sound pretty and sound like a dumbass at the same time. But there is.
I mean,
no, there is.
I
Look,
think we all have that
Go ahead.
insatiable hunger
Yeah.
that
100%.
Mark Pope talks about all the time. Like,
Insatiable hunger. Yep.
you got to have that insatiable hunger. And look, I love doing this, and I want to continue as long as I can. And I think there's a great space for it, and I think all of us can do really, really well at this. And I mean, it's fun. Like, I enjoy this kind of shit. I mean, I should have packed a cooler and sat here and started popping them.
Hey, so like speaking of like the Mark Pope-isms, I want to bring up a quote that I caught last night from that Texas A&M postgame. He said, "We lost our determination to deliver and gather a pass." We lost our determination to deliver and gather a pass, which is pretty much a fancy, beautiful way of saying we just quit playing for 20 seconds.
You want to know what makes me think about so everybody had that kid named Johnny in the gym class that just hated to be there. And you throw the ball out, he was like, no.
Yeah. Well, also,
That's
before we
like
started
I'm
recording,
thinking, yeah, that's
Kyle
what
and
the
I
guys
talked
were
about
doing.
this too. Like, that's a direct reflection on him. Like, that's a
Yes.
direct reflection on Pope. So, like, instead of you coming up there and saying that stupid stuff like that, just come out and say, I didn't put the guys in a position to win. They didn't
Right.
execute because we didn't coach hard enough throughout the week, or we didn't coach hard enough in the game. Like, I need more responsibility out of him. Like,
Yeah.
hold himself accountable.
Own it. Own it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
say, our guys weren't prepared. That's on us. That's on us because our kids came out, they put forth effort, they got shell shocked. At that point, whose job is it to turn around and make the adjustment on the fly? What do we pay these coaches for? What do we pay these assistants for? These guys that are going out and scouting these teams for hours upon hours, watching hours upon hours of film of how we are going to beat that pressure. Where was that adjustment?
There wasn't one.
There wasn't one.
No.
There wasn't one.
I mean, there wasn't any adjustment, and all Bucky was doing was switching it from a 1-up or a 1-2, 1-1 press up high, or going to a 3-quarter, and our guys were throwing the ball like to mid-court with nobody there. I mean, it was like we'd never seen a press in our life, and
it's like they panicked. Yeah, they panicked.
And that's and I heard a great quote from a coach, and it might have been Boeheim or somebody. He said, if you can play with confidence, you won't make mistakes. If you play without confidence, that's when the mistakes start coming. And you could immediately see it yesterday when they lost their confidence. Then the turnovers started, then the missed layups started, and by God, the missed free throws all started, and you could just see their confidence just go. And he did nothing to get it back.
Speaking of quotes, and I think that this was something that you taught me when I was a kid, and I think it was John Wooden. Play fast, think slow. Play fast, think slow. Because if you play fast, think fast, then it gets out of your.
Yep. I used to preach that. That was John Wooden's big thing, is think fast.
I remember that.
Yep. Or play fast, think slow. Because, I mean, his whole thing was once the game slows down, then you can play. Then you're balling. When you're erratic and you're trying to, oh my God, and you're looking around like this, where do I go? Where do I go? Now you panic. So you go from being erratic to panicking, and then you're just trying to get rid of the damn ball. And we saw that a couple times last night.
That's also the problem with the way this team is constructed. Like, you have a couple guys that played together, but for the most part, it's a brand new team again, right? So they don't have the camaraderie to calm each other down when they're in that situation. They still kind of point the finger at each other. Like, I noticed during that run, Yelovich shot a 3, and he wasn't even close. It hit the side of the backboard, and I was like, what are we doing? And like nobody says anything, and he's sitting there like frustrated, and I was like, man, it's gonna be a long. And I think they said Texas A&M, they went on a 40-8 run during that stretch or something crazy like that. Like that's insane. That's absolutely insane.
At one point, it was 27-3 run.
And nobody crashes the board. Nobody follows their shot. For the love of God, if anybody from that team is watching, please just follow one shot. That's all I had. One freaking shot.
Right.
I mean, good God.
Get it. Let them have it.
Love it.
You get them.
It's the most simple thing.
Yep.
Every game. It does not matter. And my daughter who is a 6th grader, was watching again with me and goes, hey, Dad, ain't you supposed to follow your shot or something? Ain't that what you say? Yep. I said, good God. Do you want to go play for them, please? Please.
You should be an assistant coach. You'd be a better assistant coach than what we have on the team. You'd be a better head coach at this point.
And Cody, you bring up a great point. That's one aspect we see every game. What other aspects do we see every game still? For the same, you should be smart enough to follow your shot, but there's always something we can pick out in each game that we're like, damn, we still haven't got good at that. Like it's been the whole season, and we're still doing it. Yeah, Sprinting back on.
Sprinting.
Okay, now wait. Now when did it become okay in basketball to give up a freaking layup? I mean, my rule was if you better not give up a layup, you better put them on their ass. Like,
I'm coming with the boat.
and
So-
we see these guys run next to them, and they won't even try to go contested layup anymore.
Right. And Austin, you were a guard, right? And like, what's your on those fast breaks and like on transition? Your first job is to stop the ball. You stop the ball.
Stop
right?
the ball first and foremost. You build the wall, but then you also, your guys, while they're sprinting, which they should be used to, right? Because it should be drilled over and over and over again. You know your matchup, you know who you have to find no matter what. And you're afraid if you don't, because if you don't and they hit a three, well, then your ass is yanked out. So like that level of being afraid that you're going to get taken out, again, it's not there. So like that's why they're not sprinting back. It's just not, there's no accountability. But yeah, you stop the ball first and foremost.
Yeah, how many times we see him dribble all the way down the floor last night, Austin, or 2 nights ago? All the way down the damn floor. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Austin, you're dead on right there. I mean, we're
small things like that. It just goes to show that NIL, again, I honestly believe this. NIL has ruined small things like that because they don't care if they hustle or whatever. They don't care because why? When they get back on that bus, they still get a paycheck.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
small